12:13. I missed the 12:10. Anyway, ladies and germs, welcome. Like I said, the show is for adults only and stuff. Oh, I'm actually stepping over D. D, do that thing, buddy.
What's going on, everybody? This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21 and over to be here. If not, you have to get out of here. Back to you, Fumi.
So weird. On this computer, it almost always gives me video unavailable. Video is private. Beginning. I don't know, whatever. So video is
No,
not available. Video is not private, I don't think. But it'll take me a second to find the
notification.
video that is on my own freaking channel. How ridiculous
There we
is
go.
Anyway, ladies and germs, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Like Dee said, the show is for adults only. It's also for educational and entertainment purposes only. Don't get any video. There we go. Don't get any crazy ideas, use guys. Thanks for joining us. Look at that. Bud Kilowatt already in the chat with the green light. Let me pop out the chat here and in the linky poo. Just bear with me. D Zombie is second. Good for you, buddy. Always
Ah,
looking for those fresh brains. Speaking of which, what's going on, D? Welcome.
what's going on, everybody? What's going on, chat? What's going on, panel or Fumi? Hope everyone's having a great day. Welcome to the pre-show, the safety meeting. I'm smoking on different stuff. You can find me on YouTube where I do lives and pre-shows. DZombie underscore
Yep,
745.
again.
Back to you.
Wait, this is the old chat from a few days ago. There we go. Not that one. But I would like to point out that you did say doo-doo. Is that hash?
It is Moroccan.
Oh, that's cool. Right on.
I
I
got another.
Moroccan. Where'd you get it? You said?
Oh, delivery. I got
Sweet.
another order, and they actually gave me 3 grams for free.
No kidding.
I ordered 3 grams. They gave me grams for free.
Huh. You guys have the best deals. I haven't had Moroccan hash in ages.
Mm.
I've had it, but it's been a fucking long time. I can't remember when. A long time ago. I want to say like way back in Europe, but that was a long time ago.
Sure.
Uh, that might have been when it was though, to be perfectly honest. Well, anyway, it's been a while. Old school's in the house. What's going on, old school? Welcome. Welcome, folks. Make sure to switch to live chat like I just did so you guys have a superior chatting experience. There's Southern VT already in the house. What's going on, buddy?
People that
Uh,
people that smoke booth hangs out in top chat.
that's right. That's right. Live chat is for boofers. No, top chat is for boofers. That's what it is.
Hmm.
Of course, if you're into that, just keep hanging out with top chat. That's fine. Basically, it's just a little bit more filtered experience. You don't get quite everybody in the chat because for some reason, top chat literally filters people out just randomly, like without blocking them or anything, just filters them out. I know that myself because I've been filtered out of my own chat on one of my other accounts. Like before I made myself admin or moderator or whatever of this channel, my Humidor and the Flavors account, I would be chatting here and be like, "What the fuck?" I'm like my comments are just being zapped. Anyway, thank you, YouTube. Switch to live chat. That makes it a little better. Jones N2 grows in the house. What's going on? Cheers, buddy. Cheers back to you. Join the show, folks. The show has meant to be an open show for a long time now. Um, Basically, a lot of the shows that I've been doing for a long time now have been these kind of open chat shows. Honestly, through COVID and everything else, it's been a while. The whole idea was that, I would invite basically everybody that wanted to talk about weed, everybody from experts, which we've had, to beginners, which we've had, and everyone in the middle, honestly, or everyone in between, rather. In many cases, it was really interesting. We had some really stimulating discussions. I hate to say it, but it was honestly a couple of years ago that some of the best discussions happened. But frankly, through COVID and all the goddamn lockdowns and everything else, we had some really fascinating discussions where we had, oh goodness, wine people, beer people, soil people, all kinds of different cooks, machinists, fucking you name it, right? They all had different perspectives, and in many cases could offer a little bit of a germ of information in a discussion. Even if they couldn't potentially solve a problem, they could at least offer one of the nuts or bolts or something, right? Anyway, all of that seems to be past. I find myself increasingly infuriated, actually, at this show. I really have not enjoyed a lot of it, to be perfectly honest. So it's probably going to change in the near future. I don't know exactly how, because I've been saying that in one way or another for a couple of years, but I'm really motivated now. I don't know why, but I'm motivated more, at least, let's say. I'm just sick of doing the same shit, frankly, and not getting anywhere because of it. This show doing poorly affects all my other interests, honestly. So it's a little bit idiotic, and all the stupid fucking trolls. I wouldn't piss on those people if they were on fire. But they have really fucked this channel and my other channel. Honestly, now I have what, 4 or 5 channels? It's ridiculous just because of trolls. For the time being, they've gone away, so that's been really a blessing. But anyway, the whole trajectory, rather, of the shows has been just not in my interest. In the meantime, though, the door is still wide open. Keep the
The
invitation
mama.
right now, because basically, I don't know how long that's going to last. Because I think in the future, it's going to be a lot more tightly controlled shows, invitation only, stuff like that. So all of the bad vibes are going to go away, basically, because a lot of you people just won't have access to come on to shows like this. Hey, cheers, North Star. Good to see you. Anyway, I was just talking about how I'm trying to kind of seize the control of this show back, control of my shows. I've kind of let it, I don't know, personal things in life have kind of gotten in the way, and it was easy for me to just kind of let the show go its way or whatever. Anyway. I want to make sure we have good discussions here. What do you think, North Star? Good to see you. What do you think about the confusing news anyway about the rescheduling of
Uh,
marijuana. None of us really know what's going to happen, right? What do you think?
I was just talking about that a little bit ago. It's as far as for futuring like research,
Hmm.
I think it's great because we can have colleges can go ahead and do research stuff. We can have access to capital, things like that for people. But I'm worried that states are going to look at this and say, oh, well, the government's weighed in now. This is going to be a class 3. We're definitive now. You don't make medicine at home.
Hmm.
So why would you be doing this at home? It's a recreational drug. We don't produce recreational drugs at home either legally. You should go to the store and buy it. I see this as just another reason they're going to say we can eliminate home growing more, just as it's more of an official
That's
stance
what my
kind of
fears
thing,
too,
or
honestly. Yeah. I mean, you really are not allowed. We were
it
talking
just
about
gives
this
them
yesterday.
more ammunition.
I,
Gives them
I,
more
I've,
ammunition just to try to shut down the home grow and hand it to the businesses.
yeah. No, I think there's a delay in the connection. So keep that in mind if one of us talks over you or something. What was I going to say? If you make a few
Cool.
aspirin at home, nobody's going to really mind, right? But if you started actually making aspirin like regularly, someone would notice, and you'd probably get in trouble in one way or another because it's a
Mhm.
aspirin. I guess is also a Schedule 3 substance. I think that over-the-counter painkillers are
Yeah.
Schedule 3 or Schedule 4. I don't remember. Someone in the chat probably knows better. It's an interesting thought, right? Because eliminating home grow would be the stupidest possible scenario in this whole thing, like semi-legalizing weed, but really just giving it to the corporations, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know, somehow quintessentially American to honestly just give it to the richest people already. But wow, I hope not. I really hope not. When Canada gets,
Yeah.
Canada gets to grow, non-medical patients. Do you remember what the non-medical patients can grow? Because medical, there's several different tiers, right? But with the non-medical, I think it's 4 or 6 plants. It's not a lot, but it's still something, right?
No, well, no, it depended on the four plants is the legal rec thing. But we could have, depending, you can get a doctor like and pay him between 100 to 200 for like say 13 or 10 grams a day or something. This is for as an example. It's not an actual thing. Or you can pay 5 to 600 and get like 8 to 10 grams a day, or pay more and get like ridiculous amounts, like pounds. Like that's what my buddy did. I told the story before where my buddy lived here in Ontario, worked in BC, went home worked in BC, came home every month, but he can carry this on the plane in the overhead compartment, like ridiculous amounts of cannabis, like like hundreds of pounds in his carry-on, and
Wow.
yeah, he bring it back here to Ontario, and then so yeah, he had a big license. Like my license, I didn't pay for my license. We have coverage here. Oh, we have a OHIP plan here. Anyways, the I found a place that'll actually takes that, and they'll charge the government for my doctor fees and
Hmm,
everything. But you can still buy your license, and it's crazy, like the amounts of bud you can grow.
hmm.
But yeah, and then there's the recreational side, which is only you can only grow 4 plants at a time, indoors or outdoors. You can't grow both. Thank you.
I've been wondering about
Over.
that. I don't think anybody has an answer to this, honestly. So I've just been really wondering out loud since, yesterday. I guess I've said this before that I hope anyway, my hypothesis rather, is that will have a better chance of being able to grow under this new rescheduling. Because now with this rescheduling, if it is just the first step to actual legalization, then this is just a logical step. And maybe we're all overreacting. They're not going to take away homegrown and all that. But we know how the federal government works. Sometimes laws just get frozen and nothing happens for 5 years or longer, right? So we could get stuck in this intermediate place where it's rescheduled and not actually legalized. My thought is that you're right, that they're probably going to say, bro, you can't fucking grow aspirin at home. We're not going to let you grow weed at home either. And all of us are just going to be sad pandas, except hopefully for people that have medical cards, because our to take away medicine from the medical patients, and medical patients in many cases can't afford weed and everything. It would, I think, be a PR disaster. I think really only because of that, maybe they will keep medical patients grow rules the same. That's my hope. I don't know anything. I don't know anybody special or anything. I didn't talk to some senator in Washington or some shit, right? But what's going on, Captain? You're looking at motorcycles. Are you in Thailand still?
Yeah, I'm outside the shop around the corner from my house,
Oh, right on.
and that's my bike.
Uh, I hear, by the way, you've been talking about how hot it is. Apparently, there's just this really crazy heat wave in Southeast Asia. They just had some crazy
Oh,
fish die off in the Philippines or in Vietnam. I can't remember. A few different places. They're saying that the heat index is just Looney Tunes.
today was 108
Oh my.
here in
Oh,
Oh,
northern
thank you.
Thailand, up in the Golden Triangle.
Oh,
Dude,
nice.
you can't be there.
I
It's
That's
a
can't do that.
nice
awesome.
78 right now at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. It's perfect.
Yeah, sleep all day and go out during the night. So,
Exactly. Get your
So,
work done by 10:30, 11 o'clock, and head
yeah.
for the AC.
so speaking of heat and everything, I've been watching. I don't know if anyone else watches the Jamaican news. Probably not. But I watch the Jamaican news on YouTube, and for months now they've been having a rain drought, no rain at all for like three months or something like that. They finally had rain, and now there's flooding and like wiping out roads and shit, landslide. It's crazy.
That'll start in about a month here in Thailand in the north.
Hmm.
And then it'll rain for 3.5 months straight into August. At least I won't be here for another mudslide for my birthday. That was an expensive mudslide. Expensive birthday, too.
That's what she said.
Uh,
No,
uh,
she was actually quite cheap.
say again, Captain.
You get a discount on 3 days.
Jones N2 Gross saying one day I'll have a worm bin. Actually, I used to have a worm bin, but now in this new place we don't have one. But when I come back from California, I think I'm going to set one up. Um, yeah,
California.
you guys can't see, but probably outside this sliding door, basically. I'm probably just going to do it. I don't know. I've debated it a few different ways. I actually really love those pass-through worm things. What are they fucking called? Um, there's a name for them. Anyway, it's like a square frame with a couple different bags sometimes. Sometimes it's only one bag that has a drawstring at the bottom, but a lot of times you have a couple different bags so that you can kind of catch the castings and let them out without letting out the worms. Anyway, those apparently work a little bit faster, but honestly, just to save money and time, I might just do it like I did at my old place. I probably won't use the tote because in the old place I was in a basement basically. Now it'll just be outdoors. I'll probably just skip the tote and go directly to a couple of fabric bags basically. So at the old bins, I had two 15-gallon smart pots right next to each other in a tote. It was like a one of those big, actually, it was a bigger tote. It was maybe like a 65-gallon open face tote, basically, with arms on it, with handles. And I just put the two 15-gallon smart pots in them. It was pretty tight, basically, and then filled them up actually with compost. I think I bought, oh, I don't remember the brand now. It might have been Ocean Forest, not Ocean Forest, the one from Washington. I can't think of the name right now. Ollie Mountain. It might have been Ollie Mountain, but it might have been something else, honestly. And then just let some worms go nuts. I can't remember where I got the worms now, but man, it only took like 90 days. It took probably about 90 days. So I wouldn't say less than that, but it took about 90 days. I didn't have to do shit. I didn't have to stir it or anything. Like the worms did their thing, basically. They went through the compost and pretty much ate it all and, or, did their thing because worms don't really eat the dirt. But, man, it became really nice compost. And I essentially just after that, I used maybe like half that compost to plant some pots. And then after that, I just kind of put veggies and stuff on it or old leaves or just whatever. And it was just a really uh, it was a great investment, honestly. And then at some point, I can't remember what happened. I don't know. I was going through a lot basically in that old place, and something happened, and I basically ignored the worm bin for a few months, and I went back to it thinking like, oh, I'm sure it's dead now because I didn't water it. I didn't do anything. I didn't even cover it over or anything. I literally just abandoned it basically because I didn't have time. And I went back, and wouldn't you know it, the very surface of the castings was dry, but when I cracked underneath it, the worms were still happy and just doing their fucking thing. Like it was like nothing ever happened. It was really amazing, honestly. And at the time, I think I was low on dirt. So I just literally planted a couple pots in each because they were 15-gallon bags, right? So I just literally planted a couple plants in them and they fucking did great. People are always like, oh, you need aeration, you need pumice, you need blah, 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 blah. Honestly, if the worm castings are solid enough, you can plant directly in the fucking worm castings and it works great. But people overcomplicate it sometimes, like even when I talk about North Star, you probably haven't heard me talking about we have this worm guy basically up in actually in Vancouver, Washington, over the river. And
Okay.
he's got some of the best worm castings you can possibly find. He actually does mail order and stuff, but he's just the weirdest old school guy. Like if you go to his place, he's only open on Saturdays and you have to text him ahead of time because he's just some guy who doesn't really care, right? So you text ahead of time. And the funny thing is that Saturdays he's busy all day long and he's just raking in the freaking cash because people come and they come from like all over the country, to be honest. They'll come and they'll pick up maybe the western part of the country and they'll pick up like a whole truck bed of worm castings or whatever, just pay him cash. Anyway, the funny thing is though, we talk about it on the show and the guy makes amazing worm castings, don't get me wrong. Uh, Northwest redworms. But the reality of it is that anybody that would make their own would make better quality castings. His special unique trait is that he does these open windrows basically because he kind of doesn't give a fuck, right? I think I've established that the guy kind of does.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like he's an idiot or something, but the way he does it is very laissez-faire. He goes out and he gets although he's actually, now that I think about it, he's basically retiring from worm castings. But how he did it was he would go get oh, there's a program that you sign up for this. I don't even remember the name of it, but I'm sure it's different in every state. Every time trucks filled with food that are going to grocery stores and stuff, delivery trucks and so on, get in a car wreck or whatever, the cottage cheese that spills on the road can't be resold. So basically, they give a contract to somebody to come and pick up all the food. And this guy basically got a contract for that to pick up all the random foods that got wrecked on the side of the road. So he would go and he would pick up like a truck full of cottage cheese or a truck full of spilled carrots or whatever, and he would just go take it out to his windrows in his backyard and just drop it basically on his fucking shit. And then he's got forklifts and stuff, so he would, probably stir it or whatever so that the raccoons didn't come. But then he would just leave it basically for a couple of years. And he does his thing because I guess every year or something goes and stirs it. I don't remember what his process was, but he made the best goddamn castings because after a couple of years, everything had just broken down so perfectly, and oh, it was spectacular castings. But we used to have this guy Clackamas Coot on the show all the time, and he used to talk about how he would tell this guy, "Oh, if you just added a little bit of kelp, or if you just added a little blah 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 blah, the castings would get so much better." And the guy was like, "Yeah, but that would cost me money, you know." And so he's just like, he didn't really care to add anything. And at home, you can add kelp, you can add freaking rice hulls, you can add all these different things that would make your worm castings just pop off, right? And it only takes freaking 90 days. It gets better with time, but it's ready to go in like 90 days. What's going on, Jeff? Welcome, buddy. Oh, he's still setting up, probably.
Yep.
Where about
Yeah.
California?
Pardon?
Where about in California you at right now?
Oh, I'm not in California right now. I
Ah.
have been trying to get to California. I'm waiting for a car part right now, and they've been taking forever to send it to me. But hopefully at the end of the week, I'm going to Los Angeles. I'm going down to Los Angeles for a few days. I'm going to paint a place and stuff. So, but
Come to California.
yeah, yeah. The fuck was I talking? I don't know if I want to talk about this or not. Well, anyway, later in the year, maybe might as well. I kind of want to go around the West Coast, basically go up and down, and maybe come and see you and do some
Yeah.
person interviews, basically do some on-camera interviews, do some in-person smoke sessions and stuff. I think that would be a laugh riot, honestly. Because I have all this fucking equipment, you know, I have these goddamn microphones and all this shit that I've been meaning to do for stuff like this, and just I don't know, excuses, but life got in the way and stuff, so I haven't really used it. So hoping to do that. I was hoping. I doubt. I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go interview Bud Kilowatt because you know Bud that comes on the show all the time. We did a part one with him, fuck, a year ago or more than that, and I was like, fuck, we really need to do a part two because we barely scratched the surface. Bud has had one of the most interesting lives. I don't know, Norris, Joel. I don't know if you know who Bud is on the show, but fuck, he has been a fascinating character. So we know him as a weed grower, right? But he's owned a vegetable stand. He's been basically personal friends with the Grateful Dead for like fucking 30, 40 years. He was on tour with them for years, you know, as a roadie, but he was also their personal fucking cocaine dealer and shit. Guy's had a fascinating fucking life. Anyway, yeah, Captain is just in the back there, just nodding his head because he knows so much more, I'm sure. Anyway, I've been wanting to do part two, but I don't want to take all the fucking mics and stuff. So I think I'm gonna take a little recorder if I can go see Bud. Because I think it would just be super fun to go and meet up with Bud. We were talking about maybe oh, you know Flora. We were talking about maybe meeting up with Flora, Green Fingers, Bud. They're kind of in different places though, so that's awkward. I think Green Fingers and Flora are over in like Coachella Valley. I can't remember how you say it. And Bud's of course down in San Diego. Anyway.
I'm gonna be popping on Flourish tomorrow around 420. He's gonna we get
Nice.
together and bullshit. So
Flora's good people.
Yeah, nice.
He was on the show last night, but I guess I didn't get a chance to talk to him. Cheers, by the way, everyone in the chat. Who's in the chat? Oh, Christophe's in the house. What's going on, Christophe? Bonjour, or bonsoir, my friend. My friend. What was I saying? Mine friend.
If you do take a recorder to Buds, don't expect to get many words in.
No, I'm familiar with Bud. He likes to. I think I'm
A
gonna
2-hour phone conversation. I think I had 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, right. Before all the shenanigans, I bought this ambisonic plug-in, not plug-in, module, basically for, I have a couple recorders, but the one that I'll probably take, I got this ambisonic module that basically can record 360 sound. And a couple times I've taken it like to the beach and what else? I guess I haven't had a chance to do it very much, but at the beach, in the forest, by the river and stuff like that. And there's not really any headphones that you can really take advantage of the 360 yet. They say that in the future there will be because all you really need is a toggle or something. But you can basically turn it into binaural. You can basically turn it into stereophonic or whatever, left, right. So it at least mimics kind of that effect. You can get that panning effect and so on. Anyway, it's super interesting. Even just the sound of like the beach with the waves rolling in, you kind of hear it, you know, a little bit more in one ear, a little bit more in the next ear as it kind of, you know, comes into the beach. Fascinating shit. Anyway, I think I might take that. I don't know why I'm bringing it up, but I think I'm going to take that one down to California and try to record the beach down there. Anyway, we'll see.
It smells
That's
like the
pretty cool.
beach.
That's right. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, Tommy. Hey, it's good. Hey, during the day, got a little more life to me now. It's good. Like you said, you get a different crowd and different kind of atmosphere going during these day get-togethers. Kind of cool. Hey, so yeah, talking about cameras and audio, have you seen the camera that they use for the Sphere? I think it was like over a
I guess
foot
they
wide
uh,
lens or aperture, and it's got the largest CCD, digital sensor of like any camera. Oh, and it's square. I guess usually they're rectangular. But yeah, it's an incredible camera. It's like they did with Cinemax, wasn't it? They had to develop their own camera and
Like
they're making their
IMAX.
own movies. Yeah, no, the Sphere. I've been looking at it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't realize like behind all the LED lights are speakers. That's that like array of speakers for they do phased array shit where one part of the audience can hear one thing, at the same time that another audience part of the audience is hearing another thing. And the LEDs are thin so the sound can go through them. And they have this LED fan. I don't know if you've seen these fans with LEDs on them on the blades. And as they're spinning, the LEDs will change so that you can, as it's spinning, you see words or you see a picture. You can actually stream MP and movie MP3,
Like
MP4.
hologram effect.
Yeah, yeah. Like sonic holography. Yeah, back in the Carver sonic. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, with yeah, they probably just use it for holography, but they could stream different languages of stuff, and yeah, it's like a full-on phased array audio. But yeah, they got these multiple array these fans spinning with LEDs on them, like hanging in front of the LEDs, the LEDs that are on the Sphere itself, and it gives like a 3D effect.
Hmm.
So it gives a 3D effect. It looks 3D. When these you can't see the fans spinning, you can't see the blades, but you just see the LED. So it's like LEDs in the middle of nowhere that all of a sudden come on and do so. It was pretty cool. I never heard about that they had that too.
hmm.
But yeah, no, it's yeah, the Sphere does sound pretty cool actually.
It looks cool, yeah. I've seen some
And
video. Tickets are spendy, so it's going to be a while before I go down to Vegas and go see it, but it sure looks interesting. Hopefully,
yeah, they're talking about building some other ones, like mostly in other countries or so. I don't know why they have the LEDs on the outside. That seems what to be one of the problem with building more of these in other places. People complain that's too bright on the outside. So I don't know why they don't really have to have the LEDs on the outside. It's a good advertising and draw, but if people in the neighborhood don't like it, and that's why they can't build more of these, it's not so good.
super interesting.
See, yeah, the Sphere, those spinning fan things were like, oh wow, it's like, oh, they've had that before, that kind of technology with, it's no some kid and probably I think thought of that, putting LEDs on the blades of fans, and it just, the LEDs update as it's spinning around.
Hmm.
Yeah, that cameras, supposedly the biggest lens or aperture and biggest sensor camera. Pretty cool.
Well, it was like 12 sensors basically, all put together. They kind of do the same stuff for high-end telescopes, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
multiple. Yeah. I think they said it was 8K.
oh, it's definitely more than that. They have it. You can buy an 8K camera right now. The new Insta360 is an 8K. It's probably like eight
Yeah.
some shit because it's literally like 12 of those.
I
Um,
think they said that, they get into the fact that like, you're not very close to these LEDs. So because you're so far away, that affects the resolution that's needed and everything.
so density.
Yeah.
Same thing with like billboards and stuff. When you see a billboard at normal distance, which is 50 yards or 100 yards, like from a distance, really, it looks clean and crisp and everything. But when you get up close to it, it's like dots and pixels.
Yeah.
See it, right?
Yeah. Actually, the LEDs aren't just like one on the outside. It's not like one LED, one LED. It's like what are they called? Cobs, those LEDs that were like hockey pucks with, but so that's what they're like. They're like, yeah, hockey puck
Hmm.
bright, like those. I think they look just like the those old ones. Popular.
Smoke Sense says no locals complain about the brightness. It's the tourists in the rooms across the street. Fuck, I didn't think I was gonna see this. Damn it.
Yeah, it does sound cool though. Yeah, Sphere does sound pretty cool.
Until you're right. Like when you're a tourist, there's an eyeball staring. That would be disgusting.
As bright as hell. Yeah, you close your eyes, you still see it.
Oh boy. That'd be amusing. And can you imagine if they pranked people like the eyeball is staring at one particular room the entire time? And every time they open the room, it winks. Oh, that would be a little bit creepy. Anyway, D Zombie smoking on some jealousy right now. Who else in here? Zenzu Girl was saying, oh, were you smoking on North Star?
Some Bunuelos.
Oh, nice.
Nice
That's
pipe. Another pipe smoker.
say again.
Nice pipe, I said.
Oh yeah. Oh, North Star's got a bunch of cool stuff. I remember you like to start the flame with like a not just a magnifying glass. It's like a solar fire starter or whatever. What is it? I can't remember.
Well, I use a magnifying glass, and I used to use a an herb iron all the time, but that thing broke on me. I got the one. Least favorite is the lighter. I'm just
Right?
I got my sunglasses to go out in the sun with the magnifier. Probably a good time of year for that now. So
Right.
need to get back onto that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah, I
say.
used to have a solar
Well,
cigarette lighter. Yeah, just a parabolic silver little mirror that you hold in your hand. And yeah, it worked. It was pretty cool.
I guess in theory, I guess it depends on how long it's going to take you, but probably any piece of curved glass could eventually start a fire. They always say if you ever find curved
Yeah.
glass in the forest, you should always take it with you or bury it because it could start a fire, a forest fire. Uh,
Yeah. I think even like dog bowls,
yeah.
they're empty, like the silver. Yeah.
Probably do it with a good drop of water.
Yeah.
Focus like
Come on,
not
folks.
so
What were you-
intense, but get the beam focus right. It takes just a second and it starts flaming up right away. So
Huh.
doesn't on the winter time it's too cloudy and wet. So you set it there for 5 minutes trying to get your bowl of light. If not enough sun, you're not going to do nothing.
How much would a magnifying glass cost? I haven't had one for a few years. What do they cost?
Yeah. Those Fresnel lenses too. Edmund Scientific Catalog. So. Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty cool. Didn't really use them. They use those in lithography, but I don't know.
I used to go to the Edmund Scientific Store in Jersey when I lived there.
But,
Place
yeah,
was
cool.
crazy. My goodness, I wish I had that place around here. I was like, if you're like into making things, they had a back. It was like just all kinds of parts and shit for robotics and I mean, like little computer boards. This was back in the 80s and 90s when it wasn't like any kind of high tech like they have now. But I can't. If they're still in business, I can't imagine what that would look like in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That place was all.
They had like super powerful magnets and
Oh yeah,
things like lasers.
oh, that's cool shit there.
Yeah, those Fresnel lenses, like these flat lenses.
I missed the
I
nerdy.
guess they use those for lighthouses, actually.
Hmm.
I think that's where they started, like that idea, have the lenses to bend the light in one direction.
I miss the nerdiness of those old shops, like Radio Shack and stuff. Like Radio Shack was
Yeah.
a weird store, but if you wanted like a transistor or some shit, like that was the only place to go. Oh man, there's hardly anywhere. You have to order it online now to get any kind of dongles and pieces and rare batteries. If you're lucky, the Batteries Plus has them or batteries and or whatever they're called. I can't remember, but it's always the really janky brand that they have. Anyway, so the batteries you'll fix whatever you had is broken, but it'll only last for like 2 months because the goddamn battery goes out. Anyway, I really do
That's
miss
fun.
prettiness. Everything these days is a hobby. I've noticed something that really kind of annoys me, and I don't know why it annoys me so much because it's really a small thing. But I've said that I've been speaking of tobacco pipes. I've been getting a lot more into my pipes, which I've kind of done off and on. I have some tobacco that I've had, aging for fuck a long time now. Uh, And I'd never thought of pipe smoking as a hobby. But every time you like, if you look on YouTube, basically, if you just follow anybody, if you want tobacco reviews or anything, they talk about it as the pipe hobby, and they really approach it as a hobby. And there's a difference, and it's very subtle to describe, but it really is this kind of like this little toy on a shelf for them, like, oh, this is my pipe hobby that I can put away for a moment and bring out like my hobby. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but there's a very clear difference to me from the pipe hobby and just smoking your pipe. Like, I've never thought of it being a pipe hobby, right? Like, and even collecting, like I have a number of pipes, but I've never thought, oh, I'm a pipe collector. I understand there's a lot of pipe collectors, and that's fine. I no skin off my nose or their nose either, but I don't know. It's just such a weird amalgam to me of how people approach interests these days, and none of it is really, or very rarely does it ever seem organic. It's a hobby somehow that they picked up.
I got a cat. I got a cannabis hobby.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
The, I got a Yo Mama
Joint
hobby.
hobby.
Yo Mama pays off.
I have a joint hobby.
It's nice. Um, I don't know why it annoys me so much, but it does. It's such a strange little thing. It just, maybe it's because it seems like they're dabbling in it. I think that's what it is. Instead of just jumping in with both feet, you don't even have to get that deep in the water, but they're just kind of dabbling their little pinky toes in the community. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's what bothers me or not, but something about it bothers me.
Maybe
My
it's like
father-in-law smoked.
a hobby because they're not actually producing or making anything. Their hobby is smoking a pipe. I mean, I can see if it was a hobby making pipes, maybe. Like if you're actually making the pipes, that's not like something you're like a
Yeah, no,
making
and
something.
that would be, I could understand. Yeah, because to be a professional pipe maker, it's a lot different, and you obviously have to start somewhere. So yeah, I think I would actually be a lot more understanding of a hobby pipe maker. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Last
pipe
four.
hobby. I mean, you have a hard time. You're trying to learn how to get the lighter to the bowl, and you're figuring that out first, or is it
I
you
guess.
forget to
Yeah,
pack it?
that's another
You
thing
know?
that annoys me. I mean, it's honestly the same in weed, to be perfectly honest. What am I trying to say? There's a couple different Reddit communities. I spend Sure Smashed. I spend a lot of time browsing on Reddit, right? And I've been on there for years. So I'm subscribed to all kinds of different shit. And I guess I'm subscribed to pipes and pipe smoking. And sometimes there's interesting articles. Somebody will have a really beautiful pipe or something, some beautiful estate pipe or a handcrafted pipe from Italy. There's all kinds of really amazing pipe makers. Speaking of pipe making, but there's so much beginner shit that I end up tuning out the entire conversation. I end up just kind of ignoring most of it because it'll be stuff like first time pipe smoker, I can't get my pipe to work. And I'm just fine. There's nothing wrong with that guy, right? Like there's nothing, I'm not angry at the person or something, but it infects so much of the discussion that it basically becomes a beginner level discussion. Because like I say, I kind of tune it out, and I'm probably not the only person that does that. And especially with
Mhm.
not especially, but also with cannabis and cannabis growing and everything else, like fuck, all the beginner questions. I don't need to hear them anymore. How many times have we heard them or discussed them? I'm sure you, as a seed breeder, have heard so many times people saying, "Why don't my plants grow?" Or sorry, go ahead.
Can you tell if this is a male or female? Like
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
okay, here we go.
And
Get your
again,
magnifying glass.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on the new people, and I'm not also trying to shit on the hobbies because people really need hobbies in life, right? I'm not trying to say that hobbies are a bad thing or something. I just am a little bit annoyed with how dabbly things are, and how it is very evident that a lot of people are there for a short time, not a good time, not a long time. They're there for a couple months, they're going to get bored, and they're going to leave. Say with pipe smoking, growing, anything. I don't know. What's
I
going
think
on?
it leads to more of that. You just see more people doing, oh, it's interesting. I'll mess with that and try that out. Or I see something else that's interesting, and you try. So you're exposed to more things you might not have realized, and you think it's easier because the person's showing videos of how awesome and easy it is to do. It's like, oh, it looks like easy. I can make fly fishes. Real. I'll make my own fishing lures. That's easy. That's a piece of cake. And then I need to go buy equipment and stuff, and it's driving business, and they spend $200 buying equipment to get started, and they're like, this is kind of not so hard, easy, and it dies out. So it's not really, it's a hobby. It is mess. They don't really not serious about certain things. I think social media adds to that, and it's just shit.
A lot
People,
of people hiding behind screens on social media too. That's what I don't like. Like If I go to one of my Facebook, there's like a novice cannabis group I joined randomly. And if I look at the comments, dude, half the people are either talking shit or making fun of them. I'm like, dude, why? Like, why don't you just be nice and answer the question? Why do you have to be a fucking dickhead?
Yeah, if that's social media's got a lot of it. If you're being negative and everything, well, why even waste your time? Go be by yourself, do something positive, do something you enjoy. I mean, it really make you feel good about saying negative things. It's some self evaluation you need to do and look inside yourself and see what it is, why are you feeling so miserable? Because that's not a normal human thing, just to shit on people for joy.
Just being an asshole is their hobby. That's what they do for fun, I guess.
Their hobby, I guess. Yeah.
I've wondered about
Some
that too,
people are
because seriously,
professionals.
what's that, Captain?
Some people are professionals at that.
I've definitely met some people who were born an asshole, their vocation was asshole, and their hobby of choice was also being an asshole. That's
I
for sure.
get told I'm an asshole, but it's because like I don't hold my tongue. You know what I mean? Like I say what I feel, I say what I want to say. Some people get butthurt about it.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if what Sandy Rigler is talking about is playing into what I think about the issue, because it's not like I say, it's not like I've certainly been a beginner at many different things. I've started a couple of freaking basically what you would call hobbies, because I don't do them professionally. I don't do them very often and so on. But even then, when I jumped in, I basically jumped in. Well, I can just, it's not like some military fucking secret. I basically got into wood carving, and I've been into woodworking for many years. But I thought, oh, it'd be really fun to get into hand carving wood. And for some reason, I got it up my ass that I was going to make a bunch of weed trays, because I just want
I was
really nice.
just gonna say, yo, make me a tray.
All right. So I made a bunch of these trays from all kinds of
You know,
cool.
boss.
I haven't shown anybody really. I've just been basically doing it for myself. But I get a tremendous amount of joy from making my joint in my tray. This beautiful figured maple. It feels nice, it's all basically tailored to my hands and everything. It's a delightful freaking thing. I jumped in face first, right? Or feet first, or whatever the expression is. I didn't just kind of dabble at it. It kind of annoys me when people relentlessly dabble and they never get out of that dabbling phase, right? They just kind of fuck around in the shallow end of the pool. I don't know. Maybe that's the part that bothers me. So I guess where I was going to with that, Sandy Rigler says, and again, I'm not trying to criticize new people at all, because everybody starts in the beginning and usually you're terrible at it and so on. He says, or Sandy says, as someone looking to learn, it's appreciated having experienced folks willing to give a push in the right direction. And when you're starting out, it's a great motivator to be guided by the best. And that's, I think, where I was going to with that I think a lot of people never really get into that room basically with the best and look for their guidance. They spend their time with other beginners talking about beginner shit. And it's just this relentless dead end, basically. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
100%. I follow a lot of the firearms industry stuff, and it's
Me
so
too.
full, fucking ridiculous. Sometimes you see people chatting about firearms techniques and what guns they use, and all, and you just have to leave. I can't even bother with it. There's so much noise to sort out that it's ridiculous.
Sideways.
Hmm.
Just kidding.
Up on though, folks, during the conversation, we got a little bit left to go. Normally we go until about 1:20 or so. We sometimes go a little bit longer, so that depends on you folks. Hop on, tell us what you're growing these days. I've already started transplanting, I think, for the summer season. I'm not 100% sure yet, because it's too cold yet. Ironically, it's probably warm as hell in California and other places, but it's actually still chilly outside. It's been raining like crazy. Every once in a while, we still get a frost. So honestly, we can't put plants out probably for another 2, 3, 4 weeks. We'll see. So
You look like you got sun.
Well,
what's that? Jeff?
Your face looks like you have a lot of sun.
It's bright, but it's that I've been getting sun. I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
because bright days. But it's that kind of, I don't know. May for us is always this. What do they say? In like a lion, out like a lamb. I want to say. So basically, it can be quite stormy, very irregular weather. So like one day it'll literally be I'm wearing a fucking sweatshirt,
yeah.
sweats, whatever. A couple days ago I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Right? It's that kind of weather.
now it's
Oh,
going to
Denver's.
Here,
80 degrees and sunny today, and I think they're calling for maybe a high of 60 here and possible showers on Saturday. So it's going to just
180 degrees over at Captain. Florida Nugs probably
Yeah.
has over 100 degrees. I wonder what it's like.
Fuck that.
I wish it was that weather here.
I hate really hot. Damn, there's probably only like 20 seeds in here. This is all I got from the Chem Dog Cross. This is what I'm doing outdoors this year.
Sweet.
Well,
It's
that's
not
what I was going to say.
quantity, it's the quality. I've definitely gotten a few. I think I've said this before. Actually, with North Stars, I got your Bedrock Boogie years ago, and I really, really loved a couple of the different plants. And one of the plants I was trying to breed for the longest fucking time now. I mean, what, 6 or 7 years basically, ever since I got it. And I've only ever really gotten, I think, up to 100 seeds. It was the most ridiculous shit, but wouldn't you know it? I mean, I still want to keep working on that plant. So one of these days I'll finally get, I've got a few of the seedlings growing, so we'll see what comes out of it. But one of these days I'll get that fucker to actually, well, I actually lost that plant in the whole move, but the seeds anyway, out of those, I'll get something going. And anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, that's just one of those, like, speaking of hobbies, that's like a hobby project, right? I don't even know if anything's going to come out of that. I just hope, because that Bedrock Boogie was this, well, North Star doesn't have to be told. You've seen the pictures, you've seen other people sending it to it, but the one that I've always posted pictures of is this just gorgeous pink, kind of cushy looking plant. Like the bud meat is pink, like it's actually fucking pink. I guess now it's not that rare, but 6 or 7 years ago, pink bud meat was really fucking rare. Every once in a while, although her sister gets more of the pink pistils, but every once in a while she'd get pink pistils too. Such a gorgeous plant. And that's like strawberry cheesecake or cheese kush. Oh fuck, what a plant. Anyway, uh, delightful. Have you done any more with that bedrock? Well, I guess you have the sour strawberry, so you can do other lines, but have you done any more with those strawberry lines?
No, I haven't. I have a couple of things I made, but I haven't gone any further. And right now, I'm just focusing on. Actually cleared out the bedroom right now, not for the bedroom, but my indoor grow. I have nothing getting ready to flower, nothing in veg as far as for seed run. I'm actually trying to take the summer off with indoor stuff, focus just on my greenhouse and like keep plants going for the greenhouses. And I'm actually the first year I'm not doing outdoor at all. I'm going outdoors going to be like yard work. I'm trying to minimize and try to take a little bit of a breather this year. I've been going nuts. I feel like for the past like 15 years. And it's like, and I come into fall, I'm like, well, why the hell did I get all these outdoor plants? Long while I'm down fucking busy. So I'm trying to get a little bit of a breather here. My plan to start back up, I'm going to be working specifically starting with the Colombian and Benuelos stuff. I want to work those two lines just by themselves further. And the OG stuff. I have my Alcatraz line I've been working with, Death Row, which is the cubes of the hells. I'll be messing with that stuff a lot more too. I'm going to focus on them for a little bit, trying to get too spread. I spread myself too thin, getting too many things going, and it was like I'm juggling all these different things, and you just can't keep them all going. Like I got to put this one down, work with this, and I forget about what I was doing over here. So I'm trying to narrow my scope down a little bit so I can get a little more focused and get to more completion of where I'm going with things. As far as things like the Bedrock Boogie and stuff, I have I'm just certain lines. I'm like a little schedule of like how important certain things I want to mess with are. So after I get that done, what I'm doing now, I'm going to start going through that and pick out 2 or 3 things I'm going to work on at a time, try to keep it to a minimum like that so I can actually be more complete with my work.
No, that's fair. Yeah, it's really easy to just spread yourself too thin and try to be master of all things. You just really can't, right? Yeah.
Well, part of it is I like having the variety in my room to smoke. So I'll have 10, 15 different things that I'm actually enjoying smoking on, and they're all quite different, which is why I enjoy them. They're all, something different. Well, I'm down in the room and I'm trying to breathe with that, and you have a lot of different stuff where you can't really focus in on something when everything's so different. So you have to, at some point, you have to say, all right, I'm going to put you guys aside. I'm going to do one little run a year. All you're going to get just for head stash. You're not going to be made for seeds. I'm going to go over here and focus on these lines and make these more IBL, and then focus on like with the Colombian. I'm going to do more of the Colombian, get the Oaxacan worked in more, and do more of that. All the South American, Central American sativa stuff all intermixed together, and focus on that line for a little bit, as opposed to all of it together with that.
No, that's reasonable.
So I gotta leave real quick, but I wanted to show off the garden. The lights just came on.
Oh, looking
Oh,
good.
nice.
That's Chem Dog to Chem 91 Calio.
How does it smell now? Probably looks like it probably
It
has some.
smells crazy. It smells crazy in here. I haven't gone individually and like rubbed them yet. Oh, this is the papaya.
Nice and
It's
frosty.
gonna be a one chunky buds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is the apple fritter cross I made to Chem 91 Calio.
Mm.
White wedding. Hmm. This is probably coming down first. This is strawberry apricot to purple punch. It's like you can tell, like she's barely even holding up herself up.
That sounds good.
And then over here, this is Wilson Otter Pop, which I don't know. Evergreen Genetics, I think. I got them from Bud. Shout out Bud in the free seed day pack. Um, but yeah, these three I made. Then I got these just flipping. These are Planet of the Grapes.
I always take it as a good sign when the stuff that you like is clearly nicest in the garden is something that you made, right? I would say that that's a good sign that you're going in the right direction. Like I would say that you don't have a huge amount of plants in there, but I would say for me, unambiguously, the best plants in there are the ones that you bred. Like the other ones, the White Wedding and the Otter Pop Cross. No offense, but they're not that great. The two Chem Dog Papaya to Calio Cross, lovely. Honestly, looking great, great leaves, great structure, super nice stacking on that papaya. Look at that. It's basically nugs
Yeah.
all the way.
Oh,
Yeah, look at the Chem Dog.
Mhm.
This is what I'm making a feminized line out of.
Mm. Yeah, nice looking plants.
But yeah, I get everything angled a little different. This is angled up that way. I brought this down, trying to get as much light as I can, because things are going to start coming out. And I already topped. There's more plants on the other side of this wall in that little tent. I just topped them. I watered them yesterday. We're going to give them another week and a half, transplant them and throw them in here and let them get into flower.
St. Pete's saying they're under the better light. Well, that's arguable, but yeah, that's a point for sure. But I would say that other, what is it, a CMH? I wouldn't say it's a worse light. Maybe a
I
little.
mean, if you look, like it's overlapping for sure.
I'd say most likely the other plants were bred under CMHs or something similar.
So
HIDs probably.
the White Wedding's doing really good. That was mainly under the CMH.
Hmm.
I've rotated things around because I had the critical Kush go to a herm. So I've been rotating shit around and trying to get everything in the best light. This just started flower, so I put it in the back. This is more like, so I'm going to be flowering 3 to 5 plants at a time, and we're just going to start under the CMH and rotate in and just keep going.
All right. Good work. Good job.
All right, let me
Smash. From here, I think I take a level to your LED. I think you're off towards the wall a little bit too much on that.
Did that on purpose.
No,
You
I
just
did it. I did it on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried. I'm trying to direct the light to for the plants to give them the most light. And if I did, I wanted to get that Chem Dog as much light as I could. So I leaned it a little bit to face her. Same thing with the papaya. But all right, guys, I got to get out of here. Hope you have a great day.
later, Smash.
Later.
I'll be here in I don't know, 15 minutes or so too. So if you guys have a joint, better light it now. Been a fun show. Thanks for hopping on, folks. We can call this last call if you guys do want to hop on and show off your garden real quick or something. This is a good time to do so. come take a dab with us, for example. I think I'm going to take, I think one dab left of this pie I've been saving. Yeah, it's literally
Yeah,
like,
20's coming up.
it's literally, I don't know if you can see that.
my
There's
20.
one dab left. So I think I'm going to take that dab. Hop on, folks. Tell us what you think about legalization. I'm really, I don't know, apprehensive is not the right word, but I am definitely apprehensive. I am really curious what's going to happen with everything. I'm really curious if they're going to let us keep growing and stuff, you know. It's seems like it's kind of hard to put that cat in the bag, but it's actually happened around the country. Like in Washington, California, I think was the, or not California, Colorado was the first to legalize, but Washington was the first to legalize home grow. And wouldn't you know it, in Washington, weed is still legal, but they took away home grow. So basically, only if you have a medical card and consent to inspections and everything else, that's the only way you can still legally home grow in Washington. It's pretty fucking. Anyway.
Oh, that sucks.
Right. It'd be best if they don't change anything. It's probably the safest, and it's not going to help anything really.
And I've heard people say that there's no reason to overreact, that basically this is a step in the right direction, that the DEA has to do this before Congress can actually legalize cannabis, and that everyone should just calm their tits and just fucking wait a little bit. I mean,
No,
that's
maybe.
fair, but I don't know if that's how the federal government works, right? I don't know. Let's see.
My first thought is it should be the same as alcohol, but you can brew alcohol, but you know, I guess there's certain limits, but you can brew it. So maybe, yeah.
Jimmy Carter basically allowed homebrew. Other than that, we would still not be able to do that. For the longest time, wine was not legal. It's kind of interesting to me because my
This,
grandma used to make wine at home basically way back in the old country, right? It was a normal thing. It wasn't like, oh my God, she's a bootlegger or something. No, they had
Yeah.
some use, so they just fucking made some wine. You know, if they had a spare pot or whatever, you know, like whatever, a couple gallon pot, you can make some fucking wine, right? It's not a big deal. But in this country, oh shit, they're making wine. So I don't know. Dang it, that's stuck on there.
Um, in some of your states, you can actually legally distill moonshine. I forget, it's only like 30 gallons or something you can have on hand, but you can distill it and do it yourself.
You can definitely distill here home here for sure. I actually had bought a home distilling kit. I got it on Amazon. It holds six gallons of liquid and it has all the stuff set up in it. You just go ahead and bust out and start brewing. It even comes with recipes for all different kinds of like knockoff types of drinks, like like Bacardi rum, Seagram's whiskey. I mean, they have different like the different formulas to knock off the all the different things. You can buy even like little liquid starters for flavoring and stuff. But I used to make RSO with.
Nice.
I guess there's a danger sometimes of making methanol.
Yeah,
So ethanol.
it will explode.
Well, I mean, for drinking it though, and blinding.
Oh, drinking it, yeah, methanol.
But
That's the
I
hack.
don't know.
Ethanol.
First
Does that
before it
just
starts
depend?
to-
Like that's wood alcohol, but can you? I don't know if you can also get that from like potatoes or something. Let's say, but maybe
What
so.
the-
And actually, so alcohol may be more dangerous though to produce at home. Though is what I'm getting to in cannabis.
Cannabis generally doesn't blow up unless you use a solvent, right? Like, but alcohol actually will set on fire and blow up, right? So I would say
Yeah, fire too.
yeah. Uh, I
if
think
I-
it's for tax reasons, but I think probably the justification for not being able to distill at home is because it'll fucking blow up. Although actually now I think about it, it's probably because of taxes first. But
yeah, look at Popcorn
Oh,
Sutton.
definitely got the tax. I buy like a 5 gallon bucket of 200 proof. I can basically, if as is, I'm paying all this alcohol tax like it's like I'm drinking the alcohol. But if I was to use it for industrial purposes, I can send them back information showing that I'm using it as a solvent and I'm not rebottling it and wicking it, like watering it down and selling it or something. But I have to show them what product I'm putting into, what I'm using, how much I'm recovering, all this data. So basically, I just pay the huge tax, which is more than the alcohol costs. But yeah. Even if you're going to use like the alcohol for distilling stuff, they will for distilling other botanicals. They're going to charge you for the tax for the alcohol. Like it's drinkable alcohol. It's food grade stuff.
Here in Thailand, it's hard to find isopropyl alcohol. All the shops here carry ethyl alcohol.
Yeah. Lost. North Star. Oh no, he's back.
Yeah, I just lost signal or something.
But yeah, isopropyl alcohol is hard to find here. You actually have to go to like a chemical shop.
Huh.
It's all ethyl alcohol.
Here in Ontario, you have to actually have a license to have it and transport it. So my buddy, because him and his girlfriend, they're big oil makers. They had his daughter apply for the license, get the license so that they can have it and she can buy it like gallons at a time just to make oil, which is pretty dope. But it's only illegal if you get caught. Like anything else.
All right, Ron, I'm going to take off. I got to go take care of the greenhouses and
Nice.
get back to the grind here. Stuff to be done.
Cool.
On Florida tomorrow at 4:20, right?
Yes, indeed.
Right on. Well,
That is the plan.
see you, Joel. Good to see you.
All right, take care, everyone.
Later.
Later, Joel.
Later.
Bye.
We'll probably bounce here in a few minutes as well.
That's good.
What were you saying, Jeff?
No, I was saying, yeah, that was good to have Joel there, and it looked nice there too in California.
Yep.
Got a nice deck, nice view.
Oh yeah,
Weather
great
was
weather.
good.
People always like to talk shit about California. Oh, I might have overbred.
Yeah. Do you know where he is? What part? Is he near Humboldt?
What's that, Jeff?
Sorry. Do you know what part of California? He's north of San
Yeah, he's,
Francisco, right?
Northern California. He's basically where Subcool used to live. I think right around where Subcool used to live. Basically, I don't know exactly Santa Rosa-ish area.
But up there, yeah, it's nice. So
California.
it seemed like some redwoods.
I guess. Not Mendocino. What county is that? I can't think of it.
Humboldt.
I can't think. That last dab of papaya wasn't even a very big dab, but it was actually probably the best dab that I had of it. How funny.
Very good.
Nice.
Yeah, beautiful weather down there. It gets hot in the summer, but it doesn't get nearly as hot, let's say, as Southern California does. But they have over 100-degree days for sure. Some parts of Northern California get real hot too, though, actually. So D would like that.
Yes. I want Captain 420's weather right now.
Have you ever been able to spend time in weather like that? Because you're always talking about how you love that super hot ass weather.
Yeah.
Have you?
Once in a while we'll have a heat wave or whatever, and it'll be really hot here, and everybody be in the house or whatever. I'll be sitting outside, whatever. Why are you having it so hot? No, it's not. It's freaking amazing.
Well,
Sound
I'm
like
gonna go back to Ohio, and Ohio, sometime while I'm back, there'll be like 2 weeks where it'll be over 100 degrees in Cleveland. But that Canadian air right off the lake, that kind of cools things down nicely if you live by the lake.
Damn Canadians. And your Cobras.
Anybody that's a fan of Terrence and Phillip.
So do you be like in America? You
buddy.
want to retire down where it's warm somewhere? Texas, Florida, Arizona. Yeah, recently you heard, I don't know if you ever listened to the guy from Palantir, the head guy there, Alex Karp, his name. You know, Palantir is one of the AI company. This guy is really interesting, I think. It's pretty unique and kind of a character.
Hmm.
But he's got some interesting ideas. But yeah, the way he talks about the future of what's ahead, and it's yeah, he's got a good vision of it, I think, and he describes it well. Yeah, but he's a character. He's a character, and that company's really interesting too. Balance. I have no idea. It's one product called AIP or something, just like some general AI product that any organization enterprise can use. Like like Ferrari uses them. Talk about like every car having like 2,000 sensors, which is a lot, like in the Formula One cars, and looking at different models, and it's like it just gathers the data, and it might come up and say, hey, this part at this time is a good time to change this part because it seems like this thing happens, it's bad, or this part needs to get redesigned. This is a weak link in your system. And hospitals use it, and military too. They're kind of known for military. And they go all the way back to finding bin Laden.
Hmm.
Some of them were involved in that too. But yeah, he's a real character.
His boss is scary as fuck. Peter Thiel. Have you ever read about him?
No, I think they were actually went to
Capitol.
college together.
Say again?
This guy, I think this guy Alex Karp and Teal went to Stanford together, or they knew each other at Stanford.
Well, that would explain it.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know much about Teal except that he's a
not a
rich
great guy. Yeah, not a very nice guy.
startup guy.
And his vision of the future is pretty dystopian, honestly. He's what do they call it? Basically a techno fascist, actually. And he hasn't run away from that term, to be honest. He basically thinks that some people are better than others, and that in the future, some people will essentially control the world, and that's good. That's fine with him. Uh, Kind of a scary guy. Whatever, not worth going into, honestly. Um, what was I going to
Yeah,
say?
yeah, well, that's not good. But
I was going to say something. You were talking about the AI, the optimizations and stuff. It reminded me of how in World War II, the oh man, that papaya works. I cannot think of the bombers that they use. The U.S. used to carbon bomb
B
Germany.
B1, B-52s.
Yeah, there we go. B-52 bombers. Basically, a lot of them were getting shot down, right? But a lot of them were coming back still, because of course not every plane was getting shot down.
Cheers, everyone.
A lot of folks, cheers, folks, happy 420.
Yeah.
A lot of, I guess the story goes, the higher ups, I don't know who exactly, but the higher ups wanted to up armor the parts of the planes that were getting shot because there were just crazy amounts of bullet holes, and they thought, oh my goodness, we're going to have to put heavier armor on.
Uh-huh.
Pew, 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 pew.
Someone had the insightful insight, I guess it's terrible English, but someone had the insight that, hey, the planes that are not coming back are being shot in the places that we don't see bullet holes on the planes that are coming back. And that's kind of a hard thing to get your head around, but what that means is the planes that came back, they were not shot in critical places, and all the places that they were shot were non-critical, and we don't have to do shit to those places because the planes came back. We don't have to do anything. Like they can get shot there,
Uh-huh.
still they can fly back. Whereas the planes get shot in all of the other places that these planes did not get shot, they crashed into the fucking ocean or into a hillside or blew up in the sky or whatever. So those parts we should actually up armor because those are the critical and dangerous and survival imperative parts. And so they did
Yeah.
that. No, it paid off. So that's the kind of stuff that AI will just completely run around us in circles because they can any AI can comb the entire internet, for example, as a data set. It can have gigantic data sets, and the only limit then is the computational power. But these days, even your fucking Apple M2 whatever has pretty tremendous computational power. People will be able to optimize agriculture, fields, scheduling, you fucking name it. It's going to be interesting. And all the weird little correlations. I've been thinking about how many different recipes over time have just been some creative person combining two ingredients in a proportion that no one ever really did before, and they came out really well, like ranch dressing. Ranch dressing is the most basic bitch thing you could imagine in your life, and it's so easy to make, and yet it's called American dressing around the world for a reason, because not only do Americans just eat it fucking by the gallon, but the rest of the world too. There's something about it that's just honestly perfect, and it's really just
Huh.
those little portions of flavoring. It's entirely possible that AI will be better at that than us. You know, like no,
Yeah.
just add one little drop of soy sauce to your dessert or your ice cream or some shit, right? And you'll be like, whoa, bullshit, am I gonna add soy sauce? And then you do, and it'll open up the flavor or something. You know what I mean? AI
That's
will.
crazy. I just, how every country, their dressings named after countries. That's what they're named.
Mhm.
Italian dressing, French dressing, American dressing.
What about? I don't think we have Canada dressing. The maple syrup dressing.
The
I don't
maple
know.
syrup. That's your dressing.
I was gonna say Canada dressing, isn't that a plaid shirt and jeans? No, a jean jacket and jeans. That's what it is. It's a denim jacket
Riding a moose.
I
with
could see Peter Thiel like, and this guy is definitely overconfident and like, oh, America is the best. This is where all software is in the world comes from. Oh, and it all comes from this one little area, Silicon Valley. That's where like the great software comes from in the world. And like, here's some statistics. Like 80% of the 50 best country companies in the world are in America. The biggest companies in the world are in America. And so he was just, brewing with confidence. But he's an interesting character.
China has more billionaires. Actually, China has almost 900 billionaires, and the U.S. has eight.
Really? That exploded, man.
Mhm. Yeah, I just saw that the other day on Reddit. Reddit's been getting shittier, and it's not by the day anymore, but it's definitely getting shittier. And they send you all they try to interest you in all kinds of subreddits that in many cases are just dog shit. There's probably 40 different Elon Musk fucking subreddits. Like I'd rather have no information about him instead of that many pieces of information every single day. But still, even with all the garbage, Reddit can still be really quite insightful and interesting. You find charts like that, you're like, oh, there's more billionaires in China than there are in the US. It's something that's probably obvious when you think about it, but it's not obvious when you sort of live in the culture. And the US is so US centric. I remember it was actually on this show that I kind of realized or discovered really that I was like, I don't think it was. I think I was thinking we were talking about something, and I was thinking to myself basically, I was like, oh, I wonder if China has a lunar program. And I went on Wikipedia basically in the background, and then all of a sudden, this is a couple of years ago. It's like, holy shit, China is literally on the moon right now. Like they had a fucking lander on the moon. I don't remember if there were astronauts or not, but I was like, are you fucking serious? I heard nothing about this. And I think that's actually somewhat intentional, like the Chinese, that we used to make fun of the Russians and the Chinese because they would not tell their people about the amazing things that the US was doing. And yet ironically, actually they did in many cases. The Soviets actually broadcast um the astronauts landing on the moon and everything else. They saw that live, just like with the US. So I think the stereotype from the US is that they were ignoring it, but definitely the opposite can be true. That they essentially don't tell us that the Chinese are on the moon. That's not. I don't know. That doesn't benefit the U.S., I guess, or something. I don't know. Maybe they just think that we wouldn't be interested. I don't know, because
They
don't always assume a conspiracy when dumbass bullshit is the easier explanation most of the time. Sherlock Holmes said the fucking same, right? Okay, Sherlock Holmes is a character, but still. Um, Arthur Conan Doyle said that, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was really stunning. It's stunning to this day that basically there was a lander on the moon and there was no fucking news about that. And I remember I was searching the American papers and stuff, and like maybe the AP had something. Speaking of Smash yesterday with the AP, but literally not the New York Times, not the fucking Wall Street Journal, not the LA Times. Nobody had anything about the goddamn Chinese on the moon. Something else.
they just recently started broadcasting. Like there's certain YouTube channels that are fuck. Hold on, guys. That will broadcast that are starting to broadcast like Chinese launches of like different satellites and all the different launches now. Same with Korea and there's another country I can't think of it right now. But yeah,
Haven't read
Afghanistan or whatever it is.
Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan
Maybe
is where Russia's Cosmodrome is, where they're
That's
port.
okay. Yeah, Russian. It must be Russia.
Man, that papaya is fucking confusion inducing. I can't think of anything. Whatever. That's where they launched their ship from, basically, is Kazakhstan. What was Midwest saying? That was hilarious when the astronauts saw garbage from their landing and thought it was from aliens. That's amusing. I didn't know about that. I was gonna say Three Body Problem is on Netflix now. I guess the first season. I haven't watched it yet. I've been wanting to read Three Body Problem, but they say the first two books are dense as fuck, and then apparently it gets better for the third one. So I haven't even started. God damn it, one of these days. Apparently it's really good. So it's basically a very it's written by a Chinese author. It's not necessarily Chinese centric, but it's very China focused because the guy's Chinese, he lives in China, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, because when you think about it, most science fiction has an American accent, which is kind of amusing. There's very little science fiction over the years, even science fiction from Poland, like Stanislav Lem. He wrote Solaris and a few other things. Stalker, all the characters basically have American or English or German names. It's kind of fucking amusing. In Solaris, the guy that eventually got remade and was played by George Clooney, guy has an American fucking name. Anyway, why would a Polish astronaut or whatever, a Polish sci-fi story have Americans' names? Whatever. It's an interesting, complex story, but it's kind of funny that there were very few sci-fi stories in general that had Russian names as centric, eccentric characters or Chinese names, right? Anyway, I don't know. I'm babbling out loud because papaya is apparently pretty good, actually. I'm curious how good Smashed Papaya Cross is going to be. Who does anyone know who Papaya was bred by? I don't remember either. We'll have to look that up one of these days. I know that Oni and that whole crew, Masonic and so on, have been working with Papaya for a few years, but someone bred it before them, I think. Anyway, ladies and Germans, I think we're going to bounce here the next couple minutes, so we'll probably say our leisurely goodbyes and then take it easy. Dee, are we doing a takeover on Saturday?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sweet. We'll see you then, ladies and germs. Don't forget to come in here. Same start time as the normal evening show, so obviously not noon, but 7 p.m. Pacific time. I guess that's 10 Eastern. Whatever other time that is for you, please do your own math because you're not a baby. What was I going to say? No crazy announcements, I guess. No special particular announcements. I feel like there was something I wanted to talk about, but I kind of don't remember right now. Again, thank you, papaya. I wish I had a couple more dabs of that, but so it goes. I'll have to find a clone of that one of these days. Uh, what else? Yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that. Ladies and germs, visit my website, fumidoro.com. Don't forget, we have merch and, of course, lots and lots of seeds there. I would be happy to recommend something if you'd like to email me and ask me. Fumidor@chronictable.com is the easiest. I was probably quiet. Fumidor@chronictable.com. That's the easiest way to reach me. What's the main? I think it's chronictable@protonmail.com is the email address. I'll respond to you if you have a Gmail. I still haven't fixed that problem. I don't know if I'll ever fix it at this point. There's a Gmail issue. Whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. But what was I going to say? That's about it. Let's say our good evenings. Captain, you want to go first?
Yeah, well, thanks for another. Well, actually, it turned out to be a Wheat and Whiskey Wednesday.
There you go. Cheers.
So, yeah, I ain't got much to say. I've been kind of sitting here, you know,
Imbibing.
half, half to the wind. So, everybody have a good one. We'll see you Saturday.
Cheers,
See
indeed.
ya.
Go for it,
Yeah.
Jeff.
All right, yeah, thanks. Thanks for me. Thanks everyone. And stay cool, Captain. See you, D. Cool.
Later.
Sure, Jeff. Good to see you. Go for it, D.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to always to Fumidor for always putting all this shit together because I know how hard it is trying to run a show. Thanks to chat. Don't forget, like Fumidor said, Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel. Takeover with the possible pre-show. Stay tuned. Hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Find me on YouTube on DZombie_745. Later, everyone.
Here's the.
Ah.
Hey, man. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to give some fresh brains to our good friend D. Join the takeover on Saturday. He'll just nibble on your brain. He doesn't intend to eat the whole thing. He'll probably eat the whole thing, but you weren't using it anyway, right? Cheers, everyone in the chat. Keeper's Garden in the house. Midwest. Holy cow, Midwest hasn't smoked flower in a long time, and he's way stoned. Hardcore's in the house. He says cheese curds. Jones and to grow. Good to see you, buddy. Who's else? CTC's here. CTC retracted his message. I didn't see it earlier. CTC, hope your dog is feeling better. I don't know. That is a challenging situation. What can I tell you? Everybody think good thoughts for CTC's puppy dog having a hard time in life. Who else in the chat here? Of course, Mr. Bandula. Al Telescope Uranus with always probably the most amusing name in the chat. Who have I missed here? Christophe, bonsoir, mon ami. Miranda Family Farms was hanging for a bit. Dr. DGC Jeff, St. Pete Runner. Sandy Wriggler, and of course, Skunk Ape Glassworks. Anyone who I've missed, ladies and germs, consider yourselves shouted out, or hopefully I'll shout you out next time. That's about it, ladies and germs. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Don't forget, please, to visit my website. It's not some joke that I do this for. Please visit fumidoro.com, FUMIDORO.com. Also, fumesofgoldseeds.com. It'll redirect to the same place. Do I have any other? I'm sure I have some other websites that will redirect. I'll probably cut down some of the other ones because now Google domains sold to fucking Squarespace. Because Google just is kind of garbage now. They're in the enshittification phase where they sell off everything useful. Anyway, long story short, the websites are going to get a little bit more expensive, and I'm like, man, do I really want all those goddamn addresses? So we'll see. Stay tuned. But in the meantime, ladies and germs, be kind, be decent, be gentle. Don't be fucking pricks, dicks, or lunatics. Hopefully, you will puff something wonderful. Hopefully, you are puffing something wonderful, obviously, for high noon. But if you have a chance at some point in the evening, perhaps, or at some point in the near future, hopefully, you'll puff something delightful and wonderful. Ladies and germs, thanks very much for hanging. I am still, speaking of ladies and Germans, I am still hoping to do a German language show. Have heard literally not a fucking peep from any of you. So if any of you do speak German or know somebody who speaks German who would like to participate in that show, that would be pretty spectacularly awesome. Still in obviously the works on this end. So folks, it's plenty of time for you to let me know. I have sawdust on my, oh, that's weed dust actually. Anyway. Ladies and germs, thanks very much for hanging. Adios, folks. Did I miss anyone in the chat that just popped up? No, pretty much the usuals. Ladies and germs, thanks very much for hanging. Adios, later gators, and